Hi everyone, Patak here. So for today's video, this will most likely be the last SFF Spotlight of this year, as episode 78. And today I have my co-host here today, Chocoboy Liu. It has been a while since he made an appearance on my YouTube channel, so I think it is time for him to appear in the last SFF Spotlight video of my YouTube channel this year. So yeah, for those of you who are new here, this is a series of videos where I usually talk about new book news, new special edition, and also new Kickstarter campaign, plus noteworthy release in the adult science fiction and fantasy genre. And because today we have about 15 topics to cover, and there's a chance that I'll be posting another episode before the end of the year, but usually in December there aren't too many big news in the adult science fiction and fantasy market. So yeah, without further ado, let's begin. And today I will be talking about Kickstarter campaign and special edition first, because I only have about 4 of them to spotlight today. And for Kickstarter campaign, I only have 1 to spotlight. And this is about the Wayward Children Omnibus edition by Wraithmarked. The Wayward Children series is written by Seanan McGuire. I have read only the first book, Every Heart is a Doorway, and Wraithmarked is releasing their own edition of the Wayward Children series. And for the first one, they will be releasing the first 3 titles combined into one omnibus edition. And the cover art, it is absolutely stunning. The cover art is illustrated by Lena Richards, and the interior artwork plus and papers as well. And they are all absolutely stunning. I think when it comes to artists, Wraithmarked has always been on point when it comes to the matter of choosing artists, and Lena Richards is certainly one of the best they have hired for their books so far. And I'm not even a big fan of these books, but the design and also the illustration for the cover art, these are beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And I know there are a lot of die-hard fans for the Wayward Children series. And as usual, these books, it will contain all the usual high-quality standard of Smithson binding, high-quality acid-free paper, and also this first omnibus edition will be priced at $95. And as I mentioned, it will contain all 3 titles in one volume. I'm a big fan of Wraithmarked and what they are doing in the special edition, and also, well, now traditional published and indie fantasy landscape. I think they are producing some great books, and as I said, the artists they hired, they are always top-notch artists. And I just want to say thank you so much to Wraithmarked as well for always supporting my YouTube channel and also my book reviews. And yeah, today's video is actually sponsored by Wraithmarked, and I highly recommend you to check out the Kickstarter campaign for this Wayward Children Omnibus edition in the description down below. I will make sure to leave the link in the description down below. And again, thank you so much to Wraithmarked for sponsoring today's video. And that's it for the coverage of Kickstarter campaign. Now let's move on to the topic of special editions. And speaking of someone who always support my YouTube channel as well, this is for the Broken Binding. I have only 1 Broken Binding special edition to spotlight today, and it is for their next subscription for the month of February until the month of April. And yeah, it has been announced, and I think Choco is starting to get bored here. Choco, you're bored with the news, huh? Okay, one more news, okay, and then go around and play. So yeah, the next one is for the Rook and Rose trilogy. Yeah, by M.A. Carrick, and this is the Broken Binding edition with the cover art by Patricia Gutierrez, and also end paper artwork by Huang Lap and Irina Nordsol, plus black and white interior illustrations by Jessica Chen Liu, and foil design and typography by Rachel St. Clair. I think this edition is turning out pretty good. And I won't lie, I became the art director for this one, and it was a challenge to work on this special edition. I'm very happy with the result for the illustrations though. I think the artist did a great job with the art brief that I gave, and they are all very collaborative effort. And I love the result of the cover art, the end paper, the black and white art, and I hope many of you will like it as well. And as mentioned, this will be for the special edition for the month of February until the month of April. So after the Memory, Sorrow and Thorn series is over, this is the next one in the subscription, in the fantasy subscription for the Broken Binding. And yet this year, it has been a blast working as an art director for the Broken Binding on some projects, and I would do my best next year as well on this aspect. But hopefully next year I'll be better when it comes to the matter of maintaining my reading stats and also reviewing stats as well, because the art directing stuff definitely took a lot of my time this year for many good reasons, and I'm satisfied with the result as well. So thank you so much to the Broken Binding for all the support to my channel and also for entrusting me with some of your projects. And before I move on to the next title, as promised, I will let Choco play around right now because I think he's super bored. But yeah, I still have 2 more special editions to spotlight, and then I will talk about book news. But for the next one, this will be about the next title announced from the Curious King. So this will be a letterpress treatment again, and this will be for The Martian by Andy Weir. And yeah, there aren't too many details about this one yet, but the numbers of copies have been announced, and also the artist has been announced as well. Dusan Zhang will be the artist in charge of illustrating the Curious King edition of The Martian. And The Martian, honestly, is my favorite book by Andy Weir so far, and I'm happy to hear about this news. This seems like this one will be the ultimate edition of The Martian. So yeah, more details to come about this edition eventually. And finally, for the last special edition to spotlight, this one was a surprise for me because I attended the live announcement of the special edition, and this was announced for the first time at Dragonsteel Nexus during the release of Wind and Truth by Brandon Sanderson. So this is about The Eye of the World by Robert Jordan. The Dragonsteel Leatherbound edition for the Wheel of Time series has been announced. After a long wait, the fans have finally got what they wanted. The fans finally can get a high quality fine press quality of the Wheel of Time series. And yeah, the cover art has been revealed, and also it seems like Petar Penev will be the main artist for the Wheel of Time series. I talked to Petar Penev, the artist, in the convention, and we had a great chat about many things, and it was super cool really to talk to Petar about everything art related and about his experience of working on the Wheel of Time Dragonsteel Leatherbound edition. It seems like this edition, this entire series, it will be super cool. And yeah, Brandon Sanderson and also Dragonsteel has announced that this will be published 1 book a year. I don't know when, maybe starting from next year? So in the year 2025, we will start seeing Eye of the World, and if all goes to plan, in 2040? Probably in 2040, we will see the last Dragonsteel Leatherbound edition of A Memory of Light, 2040 or 2039. So yeah, this is a long journey. On top of following the journey of the Stormlight Archive, we do have to follow the journey of the Leatherbound edition as well. The Leatherbound edition of the Wheel of Time, if you want to. Anyway, so yeah, that's it on the coverage of special editions. Now let's talk about new book news. And because I just talked about the Dragonsteel Leatherbound edition of the Wheel of Time and also about the Stormlight Archive, of course I have to give a nod, because The Wind and Truth by Brandon Sanderson, the 5th and the final book of the Stormlight Archive Part 1, is out now. And no, I haven't read the book yet. I know that many people have finished reading the book in 2 days or 3 days. I don't know how they do it. I truly don't know. But I haven't started reading Wind and Truth yet. My plan right now is to do a reread of Rhythm of War before diving into Wind and Truth. So yeah, wish me luck on that. But if you are just like me, have been waiting for this one for years, well, the book is out now, and I think you will know about this one already. It is all over social media. Not only book is social media, but really book outlet and also news in general. Personally speaking, I don't even have the book yet. I know I was in the USA during the release of Wind and Truth, but in Salt Lake City in Utah, every Barnes & Noble I went to, they were sold out, completely sold out. So yeah, I couldn't get a copy, so right now I have to wait for a copy to arrive to my place first. But yeah, moving on to the next topic, there is another book that is being released in the year 2025. And I know many people will be excited about this. This is Empire of the Vampire, the 3rd book in the series, or what I always dub Empire of the Empire, because we don't know the title yet. I always say that the title will be Empire of the Empire just for fun. On J. Kristoff's Instagram, you can actually see that I keep on commenting, yeah, the title will be Empire of the Empire. So that's what I'm calling it until the official title is announced. But anyway, I have read the first book, Empire of the Vampire, and I haven't read the second book, Empire of the Dam. I was going to read it this year, but I couldn't find the time for it. Now, seeing that Empire of the Empire will be released in 2025, I think I will do a reread of Empire of the Vampire and then read through the rest of the series. Hopefully, Empire of the Empire will be the best of the trilogy. That's my hope anyway. I know that many people have said that Empire of the Dam is even better than Empire of the Vampire. This feels like I keep on repeating the word empire, empire, and vampire. But yeah, let me know what you think about this announcement. I think it's very cool that J. Kristoff has announced that this book will be released in the year 2025, in November 2025. And then another one that I'm super excited about, this is a new announcement from Saga Press and Ken Liu. Ken Liu and Saga Press has announced they will be publishing a new book by Ken Liu in the year 2025, near the end of 2025, and it will be a sci-fi thriller. The title of the book will be All That We See or Seem, and this will be a story about Julia Z and also the future of art in a world of AI-driven loneliness. The first book will be out at the end of 2025, and I think the remaining two books will be out in 2026 and also 2027, I think. Or maybe both will be out in 2026. But in 2026, there will be a new collection of short stories from Ken Liu as well. So yeah, that's exciting because Ken Liu excels at writing short stories as well, not only long fiction. So this is about the passing of the dragon and other stories. Now, the passing of the dragon is one of my favorite short stories by Ken Liu. You can actually read it for free at Reactor or previously named Tor.com. And if you haven't, I do strongly recommend you to read that. And I definitely look forward to reading the other short stories in the collection as well. So these are big news for us Ken Liu fans. And there needs to be more fans of Ken Liu because he's one of the most intelligent authors writing in the genre right now. Maybe the most intelligent, not kidding. He's just that smart. Just watch a conversation with him on my YouTube channel or other YouTube channels. You will see just how damn smart the guy is. So yeah, moving on to the next news. And this is not about new book news, but hey, everyone, apparently Choco wants to be back on this video again. So hi. So yeah. Anyway, moving on to the next one, this is not about new book news, and after this I will talk about some cover reveals. So for this next title, for this next news, this is about George R.R. Martin again. I don't know the accuracy of this one, but it seems like in a recent interview, George Martin has mentioned that he's not too confident that he will be able to release Winds of Winter, or he's unsure about the status. Anyway, that's from the interview that I've read anyway. It's not, I think he was just joking around, but of course, many people started to think about, well, it's not being released ever. But you know what? To be fair, it has been 13 years since the Dance with Dragons came out, the 5th book in the series, and there is no sign of Winds of Winter being released this year or next year or maybe ever anyway. So I don't know. We will see. For me, from my perspective, if it's out, then it's out. If it's not, then what can we do? We cannot do anything about it anyway, right? But anyway, it is quite a bummer though, because I know many people are so looking forward to reading the Winds of Winter, myself included. So yeah, let me know what you think about this news. Now, let's talk about some cover reveals. For the first news that I want to spotlight on the topic of cover reveals, this is about the new cover art for the Dungeon Crawler Car by Matt Dinniman for book 4 until book 6. And this is for the traditional published edition. So yeah, this is not the self-published edition. This is the continuation to the first 3 books, the traditionally published of the first 3 books. And yeah, they are once again done by Will Still. And I have seen this in person when I was at Dragonsteel Nexus, and it's not as bad as I thought. I still like the self-published cover art more than the traditionally published edition, but I think this pops really well in real person. Seeing them in person, I think this cover art and design, they really pop well, especially on the spine. So yeah, I think they are not bad to have on your bookshelf. But for me, I will be waiting for the Kickstarter edition. And it seems like Choco is bored again. So yeah, what do you want? Huh? So yeah, moving on to the next one. This is about the Skadi Saga by Phil Tucker. This is a Norse-inspired fantasy series. So for those of you who are a fan of the Bloodsworn saga, well, Phil Tucker is releasing his own Norse-inspired epic fantasy novel, and the title is Skadi's Saga. The cover art is done by Yam, and I think it looks beautiful. And finally, the last cover reveal I want to spotlight today. This is for A Chorus of War by Scott Palmer. This is the continuation to A Memory of Song, and the cover art is once again done by Stuart Butch. I think some of you might know Stuart Butch for his work on the Bound and the Broken series by Ryan Cahill. Yes, this is the same artist who did the cover art of the self-published fantasy edition of The Bound and the Broken by Ryan Cahill. So you might notice some similarity in the cover art of A Memory of Song and A Chorus of War to The Bound and the Broken series. So yeah, I haven't read this series yet. I know many people have said that this one is very good to recommend to those of us who love reading A Song of Ice and Fire, and also the Prince of Nothing series by R. Scott Baker. So yeah, I look forward to reading this series someday. I don't know when. Again, when it comes to this TBR, I'm starting to realize that it's getting more and more difficult for me to set a monthly TBR for me, because it all really depends on my reading mood and schedule now, much more than ever. So yeah, we'll see when I get around to A Memory of Song and also A Chorus of War. And that's it for the topic of book news, really. Now moving on to the last section of today's SFF Spotlight videos. This is really about TV show and also about video games. So let's begin immediately. So for video games, Witcher 4 has been announced at Games Award, and I am super pumped about this one. I wanted to play as Ciri ever since I played The Witcher 3, and I think I will get my chance finally in The Witcher 4. And so far there is no gameplay reveal for this one yet, only the CGI trailer, and it looks amazing. But suffice to say that it is one of my most anticipated games right now, including, again, from Software Games, and it is Elden Ring. Another Elden Ring Nightreign, and this one I think will be a co-op survival games, and I think the entire premise of this Elden Ring, it is not a sequel, it is not a DLC, but the entire of this Elden Ring Nightreign is supposed to kind of build like, I think we are supposed to play this game as long as we can, together with friends or maybe online players, because you can see bosses from Dark Souls, from the first 3 Dark Souls, appearing in Elden Ring, and that's insane. I haven't looked further into this one yet, but based on the comments and also based on the trailer that I've seen, it seems like this is really how the Elden Ring Nightreign will be played. It looks so badass though. Now I'm excited about this game, but at the same time, I know that this will again ruin my schedule. Every time Elden Ring came out, my schedule, my reading time, my video, and everything basically, they are put on hold or they are hindered a lot. So yeah, it is a double-edged sword for me. But anyway, that's it about video games adaptation. There are many more games announced at Games Awards, such as Okami and also Onimusha, which of course excite me, but I don't want to spend too much time talking about them in today's SFF Spotlight videos. Now, there are still 3 TV show adaptations I want to talk about. First, The Last of Us Season 2 will premiere in the year 2025. That's all we know about this one. And then, for the next one, The Wheel of Time Season 3 will also premiere in 2025. This one I think will take place on the month of March, and I think this will cover The Dragon Reborn and also The Shadow Rising. So that's the 3rd and the 4th book in the Wheel of Time series. I don't know how they will do it in 1 season, maybe 2 seasons, we will see. And finally, for the last news in today's SFF Spotlight episode, this is about Castlevania Nocturne Season 2. This one, just like The Wheel of Time, it will also premiere in 2025. I think this one will begin in, Season 2 will begin in either January or February 2025. And I'm excited to watch this one because based on my experience of watching the Castlevania anime adaptation, the next season is always better than the first season. So I'm really pumped about the second season of Castlevania Nocturne. So yeah, that's it. That's the end of today's SFF Spotlight episode and probably the last SFF Spotlight episode of this year. And I just want to say thank you so much to all of you who kept on tuning to SFF Spotlight episodes. And that's 78 episodes now. I know that's so many. That's a lot of episodes, okay? I did not expect SFF Spotlight would ever reach this many number of episodes. And let's see. if all goes according to plan, next year we will reach the 100th episode of SFF Spotlight. And again, I can only say thank you so much to all of you who keep on tuning to my videos and also my SFF Spotlight videos. So yeah, that's really pretty much it for me today. And also, just like always, let me know what you think about the news that I spotlighted in the comment section down below. As always, thank you so much for watching and thank you for your support. Bye bye. Lastly, I want to say thank you so much once again to all my patrons who keep on supporting me.